What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is Batwoman Season 1, Episode 19, A Secret Kept from All the Rest. And I want to die, I want to die today. Two more, though. Only two more to get through. And I'll be done. Probably. Maybe for now, maybe forever, I don't know. But I'll be done with Batwoman, at least for now. That's going to make me very, very happy. But yeah, first, let's dig right into this. First of all, Parker showing up again and being allowed into the Batcave and all this. Totally with Mary on it. You're just letting some random teen, which, not just some random teen, by the way, a random teen that was threatening to kill people because she wanted to get enough money to get out of town because her parents didn't accept her coming out. And she gets to know Batwoman's secret identity. She gets to know her secret lair location. Yeah. So I'm totally with Mary on that one, which it is kind of funny to me because whenever Kate revealed who she actually was to Parker, she's like, "Oh, you're Kate Kane. You're one of like top 10 lesbian CEOs in the city," or whatever she was on the front page of. All I could think is, okay, so you know that, yet you don't recognize her stepsister, who's also like some social media Instagram model, or used to be at least. You're just, who are you? Just, I know who you are. I don't know anything about your family, though. Especially other famous family that you have. I know nothing about them. Just stupid. But yeah, Parker being involved in this, absolutely pointless. Like, they just... I don't know. I don't know why she was there. All she was there really to do was just... Because I think she did manage to help them track where the one guy went, which should have been completely obvious. Because once Regan told you, "Oh yeah, my sister's Magpie, she traded the journal to get out of Arkham." Oh, so probably somebody in Arkham is the one that set this up, right? Hello? But no. Kate doesn't put two and two together, so she needs the help of Parker, who finds out where one of the dead people went before he died. And then she's like, "He was in Arkham?" That's probably where all this is happening. And it's probably Alice, because of course it is. Oh my god. So that was really dumb. And then on top of that, they play the whole, like, as she's talking to Sophie, Parker and Mary are sitting there like, "Oh my gosh, it's Sophie. Oh, tell her how you feel." Shut up. Shut up. We don't need your depiction of fanfic writers inside of your show as characters. We don't need that. It's just so dumb. On top of that, Julia and Sophie are apparently gonna start being a thing because Kate sees them kissing, so she's like, "Well, I guess that's not gonna happen anymore," and she acts all pouty. We also find out who Julia's been working for. Not this whole time. She apparently started working for after she stopped Rifle earlier this season. Some random person whose name I don't recognize. Maybe diehard comics fans will be like, "Oh, I know that name because it's so-and-so from issue whatever," and be super excited. Some random person that probably was building up for season 2, but now it's probably not going to happen because unless this woman still comes after Batwoman, even if it's not Kate Kane. But yeah, it just seems more like, because we're finding out about her in the penultimate episode for the season, probably going to be more of a season 2 thing. But yeah, Julia apparently didn't realize that the journal contained secrets to killing Batwoman. There is something in there that's like, I don't know, it's supposedly not weapons to kill Batwoman. It's a secret on how to kill Batwoman. I don't know what that means, but apparently they need kryptonite, which I don't know if they're implying that Batwoman is actually Superman in disguise or Supergirl in disguise, and like, we need kryptonite to kill Batwoman. And it's like, you do realize kryptonite is not her weakness, right? I figure it's probably something like, "Oh, frame her for killing Supergirl or Superman or something like that," and I just don't care because who cares? So yeah, that was all pretty dumb with Julia. Luke apparently, doesn't want to help and tracks down Julia because he finds out that she has not actually been working for the SRR this whole time. And then he gets kidnapped by Alice, of course, because, it makes sense that whenever you've got a villain who can impersonate other people really, really well, at least I'm pretty sure they know that. Do they not realize that Mouse can impersonate other people? Because he was impersonating Kate's dad for a while, so yeah, they should know that, okay, we got to be really careful. So when you get a call from an unknown number that says, "Hi, it's Kate, where are you?" and then doesn't say anything else, clearly you should just be like, "Oh yeah, this is my exact location. Bye." I mean, use your brains. And I know it's not the character's fault, it's the writer's fault, because they wrote the characters to be stupid. But still, at some point, the writers have got to go, you know what? That's a little too stupid. When your villain is somebody that can impersonate voices really well, and one of our main characters who's supposed to be super intelligent gets a call from an unknown number claiming to be Kate, it's probably not Kate. But yeah, so he gets kidnapped by Alice, and then she's like, crack the code, and then he cracks the code, but then doesn't matter because Kate has glasses that can crack the code for her, because of course somehow these glasses have been created to look at the code and decipher it. I mean, it's not the craziest thing, but it's also kind of like, well, how would you have two different journals with code with glasses? It just seemed very random. It's like, oh, here, Deus Ex Machina, we have something we can trade for Luke's life. So that's what they do. Save the day. Woo, for now. It's just dumb. It's so dumb. Mouse is apparently upset because I want my own. I wanted to live the life of this doctor. I was having fun. I enjoyed my life in there. Random plot point to throw in. Especially since he's been so loyal to Alice for so long. Suddenly he's just like, no, I want to live my own life now. I don't care about you anymore. What? Hush just got ridiculous in this episode. Like, first of all, you start off the episode with him walking through the library like this the whole time. In fact, it actually made me laugh because of how ridiculous it was. And I was like, please tell me he walks through the whole library like that. Most of it he does, but then they show like a long shot or a wide shot where he's like walking across this little bridge-like thing and he has the guns down by his side. I'm like, no, you gotta go all the way with that shit. Like, it's so bad. You have to carry all the way through with this horrible, just, nobody walks like this with guns throughout the entire thing, just bang, bang. Like, nobody walks like that, but you started that way, so you have to carry it through. You can't just suddenly cut to a shot where he's just standing with the guns down by his side. Like, no. You ruined the one funny thing. I mean, it was so bad it was funny, but still, you ruined that right away. And then he puts the gun up to the guy's head. Hush. I'm like, oh, we're starting off with a dad joke. Cool. Don't get me wrong. I make dad jokes all the time. I love puns. This is a professionally made TV show. And it's not supposed to be a comedy show. So you start off with your bad guy named Hush going Hush, and that's how he gets the name Hush. And he's basically become a cartoon villain now. Like, that first scene where they're shocking that one doctor that he captured, they're shocking his brain, and he's like, you need to tell me about this, and then clapping the book in his face. I'm like, what happened to you? You were not crazy before, now that your face is off, suddenly now you just, I don't know, it's like the guy, because they hit his face, he's like, well, now I can just go balls to the wall insane with my performance, and nobody's even going to see it's me, so who cares, I guess? He just, like, hanging around Alice has somehow turned him into a worse actor than she is. It's kind of amazing that's how that worked, but yeah, he was really, really stupid and crazy in this. And the scene on the bridge, too, where Batwoman stops the van that he's driving, it's really bad. I mean, the action scenes of this are not really, they haven't been great throughout the season, but they've been at least looking. Now they haven't been looking realistic. But this one, I don't know. For me, this one with the van really took the cake for how bad it was. Because she's driving down the highway, going the wrong way. You got Mary for some reason not knowing how computers work for a minute, even though she's obviously been using technology for a while. But she's like, oh no, I turned off all the computers. Can you hear me? You're going the wrong way. And then Batwoman rides around them. She stops. The van's still going. Shoots one little, what's it called, grappling hook into the road. Shoots another one to the back of the van. And the van just goes, and just stops. And Parker, like, kind of falls out of the back seat. He just sort of does this. I'm like, going 60 to 70 miles an hour, coming to a complete halt. Probably not going to meet in the middle with a slight No. That van is totaled. That van, like the back of the van has ripped off, or the van has literally gone and like been just yanked backwards. Because that's how physics works. Physics doesn't say, oh, well, a van traveling 60 to 70 miles an hour, when it gets suddenly pulled to a halt, is just going to stop and not move at all and just almost kind of easily come to a halt. Oh, that was a little bit of a jerk. No. That's it's pulled back, it's on his back. But no, that's not how physics works in this show. And then he gets out of, Hush gets out of the van and just gets out. Sure enough, 2 guns. Again. I don't know what it is about watching him with the straight arm gun holding, but it looks stupid. Shoots her, doesn't do anything. She knocks the guns out, hits him in the leg with the batarang. He falls over, and then the very next scene, like maybe a second later, he's pulling somebody out of a car and taking their car. She's like, okay. Batwoman doesn't follow him because reasons. Just really random and stupid. Then, what else? Oh, the end scene with Kate's dad. Like, he's gone full, like, oh, Batwoman's the problem. Batwoman's a menace. He's full J. Jonah Jameson at this point. And, yeah, that final scene. Oh, you and Alice need each other. Just like Joker needed Batman. I'm like, okay, no. No. You are not about to compare the relationship between Alice and Kate to the relationship between Joker and Batman. Joker and Batman, one of the greatest villain-hero duos I think I've ever seen. Like, in any comic book iteration, Joker-Batman, I mean, it's a reason why it's been made so many times. So many different Jokers, so many different Batmans to go along. Like, there's a reason why that's a thing, because they're very well written, except for Jared Leto, very well done. I mean, it's always been, except for Jared Leto, a good relationship. We'll see how the Joker with Robert Pattinson's Batman goes. Not too great so far, but we'll see. They still got potential. But Alice and Kate do not have that same level of chemistry, that same level of intrigue. They're not well written like Batman and Joker are. It's just, I mean, they're sisters. One went crazy. The other one became a vigilante. And that's about it. And they've done this whole thing like, oh, is it Alice? Is it not Alice? Is it Beth? Is it not Beth? Oh, no. There's just no way you can compare those two relationships. And yet they're trying to compare those two relationships. Honestly, it reminds me of another line in this episode where Kate all of a sudden realizes something. I forget what it was now. There was something that she realized. She was like, oh, so that's what Alice is doing, or something along those lines. And then she, like, walks out, and Parker's like, how? What? Are you not going to tell us? And Mary's like, oh, she normally walks off without telling you what she's thinking. And Parker's like, so cool. Okay, writers, listen. You can't just write that something is cool and expect us to suddenly go, oh, well, she said it's cool, so it must be cool. Walking off and not telling people what you're thinking is so cool. Like, that's not how that works. They did it in Flash with Iris. They did it in Arrow all the time with Felicity. Oh, Felicity, you're right. Just because you tell us, the audience, that Felicity is right because the other people are like, oh, Felicity is so right, she's so awesome, that doesn't mean that we're just going to be like, oh, well, if they're saying it, that means it must be true. No, you have to show it. And in this case, you're telling me that Batman and Joker, the same level as Alice and Kate, but you're not showing me that. You're not showing me that those two relationships are at all comparable. At all. So, don't make the comparison if it doesn't actually work, because I'm going to be sitting here going, no, those two things do not connect. One more episode. I just got to get through one more episode. I'll be done with Batwoman. Probably forever. I don't know if I can... Maybe once they got rid of Ruby Rose, maybe it got better, but I just don't know how you can. If the writing team stayed at all the same, I don't know how you can improve on this. Because it's just so bad. So, on to the final episode. There's at least that to look forward to. That is the last one for the season. See you there. And now episode 20. Oh, Mouse. Wow. Talk about having confidence in your show. That you can just not even resolve any of the problems that you've been writing throughout the majority of the season. Like, they literally had so much confidence that they were going to continue, which, I mean, they were probably more than likely given another season because, I mean, at the time that this was happening, the crisis blew up the internet. So there was probably like, oh yeah, all these shows are going to continue on for at least a few more years. So to end on a note where you're just like, we're so confident we're getting to season 2, we're not even going to wrap up any stories. And then your main character decides she's done with the show. So now you're in a shithole because you have so many plot lines now that are going to be ruined in season 2 because Kate is now gone. And I know they didn't recast her, so I don't know what they're going to do with it, but I just find that hilarious because of how bad the show is. Like, honestly, I want to laugh just at how stupid these writers are. They're just like, yes, everything will be fine. We're going to write in such a way that cliffhangers abound. We're not resolving anything by the end of the season. Everything's going to be just totally, utterly ruined. And then season 2 will all make it up. Just, it's so funny to me. I don't know why it's so funny because I should be pissed that I'm ending the show on a feeling of nothing has been resolved. But it's actually kind of hilarious that they had that much confidence in how great their show was. That this is how they ended it. So, yeah, I mean, let's just go ahead and dig into it. First of all, Alice is pretty much a side note in this episode. Like, nothing that she's done throughout the entirety of the season even matters anymore. They're just in a sewer, and then Mouse is constantly questioning her because, I don't know, his devotion is gone for whatever reason, so she decides to kill him, so that way she can kill Kate. And, yeah, okay. So, I didn't even like Alice as a character, but now, after a whole season about her, the season doesn't even end with her as the villain anymore. She's just kind of off to the side plotting for next season while the villain for this episode is some random guy that I guess broke out of Arkham. Okay, cool. So, yeah. I mean, again, I didn't like Alice as a villain. I thought she was annoying. I thought she wasn't well written. I thought she wasn't well acted or directed. One of the two. But yeah, I mean, I was not very vague about my hatred of her character. However, this season was about her. This whole season has been about her and Kate basically going head to head. Again, they compared it to her and Batman and Joker last episode, so clearly in their minds, that's what this season was about. So why didn't it end with that? Why didn't it end with Batwoman versus Alice? I mean, duh. So no, we get, again, she kills Mouse because for whatever reason, Mouse, who's been nothing but devoted to her. I mean, he's had his moments where he's not trusted her decision-making or whatever, but, I mean, in all reality, Mouse is kind of a simp for her, if we're being totally honest. So for him to just all of a sudden in the past couple episodes be like, I don't trust you anymore, you're not making good decisions, I'm going to go off on my own. You need me, I don't need you. I'm just like, where is this coming from? And then, of course, because she's crazy, she's like, nope, you're not going anywhere, you're dead. Okay. And then she gives Tommy Bruce Wayne's face because that's the Hush storyline. So again, the worst rendition of the Hush story that I've seen done, because it wasn't even about Tommy's obsession with Bruce Wayne, so much so that he wanted to be him and basically ruin his name as Bruce Wayne. No, this is all about Alice's plan to use him as Bruce Wayne to sneak into Wayne Enterprises and get the kryptonite that she needs to kill Batwoman. Which, again, I don't even know if this is going to be a storyline because Kate's not going to be Batwoman next season. So he's not even going to have the sway that he would have originally. So, yeah, this whole storyline has been completely pointless. And that's how we're ending the season with them. So, good job, writers. You really screwed that one over. Everything to do with the Titan guy in this episode, just, I don't know, really dumb. Just random guy who, I guess, the steroids and the constant head trauma from playing football really messed up his brain to the point where he became super strong and just invincible to pain because his brain was so far, like, messed up. And that's basically all his villainous characteristic is, but he somehow has enough thought to, one, seek out the people that wronged him in the past, and then two, also to be tactical in his attack in the final scenes, you know, where he takes out the lights, goes in and takes out a whole tactical team that was set up. Okay. At least I think that's what happened. They didn't really explain what happened at the end very well. There was a chance, I guess, that Jacob and his team set all this up to make it seem like, oh, he's taking everybody out and he's doing all this, and he actually was there, and then they used the darkness to take him out and then turn it back on to capture Batwoman. I don't know. It just seemed very random that just all of a sudden Jacob went from, I'm gonna kill her, to, oh, okay, we can work together, to, I'm gonna kill her. Like, they're turning him into a huge villain at the end of this season. And again, it's not gonna matter in season 2 because Kate is gone. So this whole connection between, oh, her father is trying to kill her and her sister is trying to kill her, all out the window because she doesn't come back. So you built up Jacob as a villain for season 2, and it's not even gonna matter. Good job. But yeah, just several stupid scenes with this guy. I mean, first you start off, he goes into this train to kill, I guess, some guy that messed up his brain scans or whatever, and, you know, fabricated them to make it seem like he was okay. I don't know how he found out about all this, but tracks him down, cuts his head off in a train. Jacob shows up, which I will say, you know, again, the acting in the show has not been phenomenal or anything, but there have been a few line reads that have made me laugh, and Jacob's out of the way at the beginning of this was just so nonchalant, and it sounded uninterested. Like, you would expect, get out of the way, or something like that, but he was just out of the way, and I'm just like, oh, yes, you really care about getting up there in time, don't ya? But then all of a sudden, like, stabs the train lights, which doesn't actually cut off the lights, I guess. I don't know what he was stabbing. He stabbed something, and then there was like a surge of power, but then the lights never went off. So I don't know what that was about. But then he beats up Jacob, beats up Kate, who just all of a sudden showed up out of nowhere. Jacob's like, I thought I told you to stay in the car. I'm like, so you two were together in the car, and she still showed up and fought him? What? What was the setup for this? Did she just say, hey, Dad, I want to go for a ride? And then while they're taking the ride, all of a sudden it's like, hey, we got an attack. We need you to go stop. He's like, oh, stay in that. What is the setup for this? In what way does this make any sense? So then after that, he goes apparently to track down his brother, which Batwoman gets there before that, tells the brother to run, and then after a fight where he cuts off her gun and exposes the styrofoam underneath, tosses her off the side, breaks some ribs in the process, and then the brother, who started to run and then stopped because he wanted to watch and see, like, oh, I wonder how this fight's gonna end, because I'm an idiot. So then after Batwoman gets beat, here comes his brother. He's just like, all right, well, time to kill you, and kills him. Okay. So yeah, when you say run, what you really meant was take about 10 steps and then watch the fight from a close enough distance to where after I get beat, he can kill you, because you're an idiot. The final scene, too, is just, I mean, this coach, they use him as bait, and then Batwoman, like, tells him to run, which, why didn't he already? You see this big hulking guy charging down the field at you, and your first thought is, I'm going to stand here. I wonder if he's coming to kill me. Run? Okay. And what's even funnier is Batwoman gets in front of him. Run! He starts to run. Stop! I just imagine the coach. Stop? Why should I stop? And I know, obviously, she's telling the big guy to stop, but it sounded like she was like, run, stop, red light, green light, red light, green light. Oh, because, I mean, they could do it. But yeah, and then, again, Jacob just turns a full villain, has the team shoot, and shoots Batwoman. None of it works. Because apparently somehow kryptonite is the only thing on top of these other things that can penetrate the bat suit, which, again, it's very funny. Because it's like, they have the journal last episode. And basically this whole premise is, oh, this isn't about making weapons to kill Batman. It's about how to kill you, Batwoman. And then in this episode, it's like, oh no, actually it contains all this stuff about all these weapons that can kill Batman. So it is about weapons then. And, you know, they talk about the one thing, the railgun or whatever that they destroyed earlier, and then the one weapon that Alice had that she messed up so that way Rifle couldn't kill Batwoman. So there are these other things, but then somehow kryptonite is the final thing. And I'm like, okay, why? Is the bat suit made of anti-kryptonite? So it's like the only thing that can penetrate it is all these other things and then kryptonite as well? Because they kept talking about, oh, these other things won't work, this will. Again, do they just change writers every episode? Last one. No, this is about specifically how to kill you this episode. Oh yeah, these are about weapons that can kill Batwoman. So yeah, they are about weapons then. Which you said it wasn't about weapons in the last episode, but now you're saying it is about weapons in this. Do you even watch or read? Do you even read the last episode when you write the next one? Or do you just write it, toss it in the trash, and go, alright, on to the next episode? Wait, don't you want to remember what you just wrote? Nah, I'll remember. Okay, so now we have weapons in the diary that can kill Batwoman. I'm reading this that you just tossed in the trash, and it looks like you just said that it's not about weapons that can kill Batwoman. No, it's about weapons that can kill Batwoman. And what's funny is, you know, they have this one piece of kryptonite that apparently Bruce had. Finally, Luke, after a whole episode of just doing nothing but that, doesn't even really help her for most of it, he finally shows up. He's like, alright, I crushed this kryptonite, we're good. And all I can think is, you realize Supergirl is on your world now, which means Lex Luthor and Lena Luthor are also on this world, and they know how to make kryptonite, so you're not done. And sure enough, here comes, you know, the epic twist. She pulls back the picture, she's like, yeah, I'm saving this for a friend. Okay, because we've clearly seen how close Kara and Kate are. And we've seen that camaraderie in, what, one, maybe two crossovers? Did they even meet in the last crossover, or was it in this one? Because either way, it's just really stupid. But yeah, she's like, I'm not crushing it because it's not my decision. And so I guess that was going to be something for season 2, is the fact that she has this kryptonite that Alice was probably going to try to take. And then, of course, the other thing is this big bad that Julia kept bringing up, this Sophia, I think her name is. Or no, Sophie is... What was the name of the I don't even remember, because I don't care, because they just brought her up out of nowhere and then just pointless. But apparently this woman found out about Julia and Sophie seeing each other, so she's like, well, guess we can't see each other anymore. And all I can think is, who cares? Because I didn't really care about Julia and Sophie in the first place. So splitting them up now just has no emotional reaction for me whatsoever. And on top of that, you're building up Alice and Tommy working together for season 2. You've got Jacob acting like a full-on villain for season 2. And then you've got this other secret big bad that Julia has been working for this whole time, also stepping in for season 2. Who's supposed to be the main villain? Who cares? Who cares who the main villain is? It's like in The Flash, you know, how Eobard Thawne is like constantly there and he's such a good villain because he killed Barry's mom, whereas Alice killed Kate's stepmom that she wasn't even that close with. Yeah. there's definitely enough of a rivalry there that we can keep bringing Alice back as a villain, and we can turn Jacob into a villain, and then we can have this other villain come in for season 2, and she's even worse than everybody. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's bring all the villains in for season 2. Let's not have one focused storyline. Let's have 20 different storylines going on at once, because surely that's good writing, right? You have all these different confused storylines that don't actually work together. Surely that's got to work. I mean, it hasn't worked at all, ever, in the past when other shows or movies have tried it, but surely we can do it right. I've reached the end. It is kind of funny to me because I was expecting there to be some resolution. There really wasn't. Again, that makes me laugh in some sense because, again, the mindset that they had to have for writing the end of the season of like, oh, we're writing some of these stories for season 2. We're writing for the future. I mean, to already have that confidence that you're going to be continuing these stories in the first place and it not happen because your main actor's like, I'm done. But there's also a sense of like, I wanted some of these stories to be done. Because if I do continue this show, I don't want to see Alice anymore. But she's still probably going to be around, more than likely. I don't want to see, Tommy becoming Bruce in this storyline because it's not nearly as interesting as I've seen it done in, one game. I've only seen it one other time. And in that, it was just kind of a little side story. Not all that interesting, but it's okay. But this is just really dumb. It's like they just wanted to have, we need a Batman villain in this. Okay, well, let's have Hush. Okay. Are you going to write him well? Nah. Then why have him? It's just all the storylines for this season were really dumb. The acting was not great. The action was not good. And just, I don't know, so many moments of just cringy writing. Honestly, I didn't even talk about it, but Vesper Fairchild, I mean, she kept appearing here and there throughout the season with her stupid... I found out, actually, it was, I think it's Rachel Maddow from, was it CNN or MSNBC? So, again, somebody that I don't like, voicing a character that I don't like. So, yeah, I mean, just... that was also embarrassing to have to listen to her little quirky or quippy one-liners like, oh, it looks like Captain Jacob Kane with a shotgun couldn't bring him down. Let's hope Batwoman has a slingshot. I'm just like, oh, because he's like a titan like Goliath? And David with the slingshot? It's like, again, I love puns because I'm a punny person. These were bad. And they were written, again, on a show that's not supposed to be a comedy show. But these puns were written in a way that's like, this is hilarious, guys. Laugh. And I've seen puns handled well. I mean, you look at Cisco. A lot of Cisco's lines are hilarious. And some of them are puns. But they're well written. And they're actually kind of funny. These are... I don't know who would find any of these funny at all. And trust me, as somebody who loves to tell jokes that make people groan, these are not even on my level. My level's already pretty low compared to the best puns. So just, I don't know what else to say. I'm a broken human. This show just broke me. I'm glad to be done, though. Finally out of the woods for this. Again, I don't know if I'll check out season 2 or beyond. There's a part of me that's like curious. It's like that morbid curiosity just to see if it could get possibly any worse. But I don't know. This season definitely took a lot out of me, and I just don't know if I could continue on. So I may end up doing what I'm going to probably do with Black Lightning, where I'll check it out, and if I want to talk about it, if I want to do a review, then I will. But there's a good chance that I might just turn it on, kind of just see what the plot points are, see what they're doing, see if there's anything that connects to the other shows. But for the most part, I'm just going to be watching just so I can say I watched it. But I'm not actually going to be wanting to talk about it because, I mean, these reviews are already long enough. I can't imagine going into more detail, talking about more of what sucks about the show. And honestly, I feel like a lot of my problems were kind of the same throughout the season. Like, they were the same issues that basically they kept making the same mistakes over and over again. So, yeah, I don't know. That's about it for me, though. So, that's it for season 1. Batwoman, I did it. I'm still alive. Maybe a little dead inside, but it's fine. It's fine. So, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on the first season of Batwoman? And let me know, we could talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future CW shows. And if you want to see me suffer more, then go ahead and let me know that you want me to watch more Batwoman. Because I'll do it if I get enough people that are actually wanting to watch more. With all that being said, see you next time. Peace out.